Hey, I'm here. Now hurry up and get those divorce papers. As soon as my husband returned from his trip to France, he barged into the house and cornered me. Beside him was a young blonde woman holding a child. When I glanced at them, my husband smirked and snorted. "This is the woman who's going to be my wife after I divorce you." Smiling at his mistress, he spoke. Even though she didn't understand English, she looked at him with joy and leaned in closer. He looked down at me with the usual disdain and sneered. "I'm going to take those to the courthouse myself, so hand over the divorce papers now. Once that's done, we're strangers. Take the kids and get out of this house." My husband had a triumphant look on his face. He was probably imagining a happy life with his mistress. Expecting me to be distraught, he hurled a barrage of insults at me. Hearing this, my son turned to me and asked, "Mom, you haven't told Dad yet?" Prompted by my son, I showed my phone to my husband. His hand shook as he snatched it from me. "No, it can't be." "Why?" Seeing the phone screen, my husband became frantic, realizing his life was now in jeopardy. "My name is Sarah, 43 years old. I have a high school freshman son and a middle school freshman daughter with my husband, Jack, who is 3 years older than me. I was born with a disability in my legs. While it doesn't greatly affect my daily life, I can't stand for long periods or run. This makes it difficult for me to work outside, so I manage the household and take care of the children as a full-time homemaker. My husband's name is Jack. Jack has worked at a clothing company for many years and holds a decent position there. I met Jack over 20 years ago. It was at the company where I started working as an office assistant after graduating from vocational school. It's the same company where Jack still works. The fashion industry is always busy. Even when I was employed there, the company had several overseas branches, and during peak seasons, most employees worked day and night. However, due to my need for treatment on my leg, I was allowed to work shorter hours. I'm extremely grateful to the company for understanding my situation and employing me. Nevertheless, I often felt guilty towards my colleagues. Jack, then a young salesperson, was always kind to me. "Don't worry about work. Feel free to rely on others." "I'm sorry, thank you." Jack had a friendly nature, easily getting along with everyone, and used his language skills to contribute to the company. He was well liked by both his superiors and subordinates. He treated me, despite my disability, with the same respect as anyone else. Before we knew it, we had fallen in love, and after 2 years of dating, we got married 17 years ago. At Jack's request, I quit my job to focus on our family. However, after getting married and having Ryan and Emily, Jack's behavior gradually started to change. Whenever he was home, he would always glare at me with a scowl. I wondered if he was stressed from work. But rather than creating a tense atmosphere at home, I decided to take on all the housework and childcare by myself. I never forgot to express my gratitude to Jack for financially supporting the family. Despite that, Jack's attitude never improved. In fact, he started to belittle me and hurl insults. "I'm out there working my butt off, while you get to stay home all day. You sure have it easy. But you were the one who wanted me to become a housewife because of my leg condition. What? Who do you think you're complaining to? Thanks to me, you have food to eat and can raise Ryan and Emily. If you don't like it, get out of the house right now." After Emily was born, my parents passed away one after the other, leaving me with no relatives. Taking advantage of my lack of an escape route, Jack said whatever he wanted. His verbal abuse was also directed at the children. "Ryan, Emily, you two are nothing like me. You must have taken after your mom, poor kids. Stop it. Don't say such cruel things to the children. I married you and had these kids just to maintain my public image. Having a family and a successful career makes me look good. You all are just tools to boost my reputation. How could you?" Jack's behavior was so appalling that the children started to dislike him. He had no love for me or the kids. Why did it turn out this way? Would my life end here, treated like Jack's slave? As I buried my face in the table and bit my lip. Then, a gentle voice reached my ears. "Mom, are you crying?" When I looked up, young Ryan was tugging at my clothes, looking at me with concern. Emily drew a picture of you, Mom. Look. Emily showed me the picture she had drawn with crayons. I took Emily's picture and teared up without them noticing. They were trying to cheer me up in their own way. Jack's abusive behavior made me think of divorce every time, but I doubted my ability to support the kids financially as a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want the kids to suffer because of grown-up issues. I hugged them and vowed to protect them no matter what. Time passed, and Jack was offered an overseas assignment by his company. He gladly accepted the overseas trip he had always wanted. At that time, Emily had just started middle school and Ryan high school, so I decided to stay in the States with the kids. I didn't have a passport, and honestly, I felt more at ease with Jack away. A year after Jack went abroad, he returned to the States to spend the New Year holidays. Even after coming home, his attitude towards the family didn't change. Just a few days to endure while he's in the States. I decided to wait it out, protecting the kids until he left. One night, while I was folding laundry in the living room, Emily and Ryan came to me from their rooms. Mom, can we talk? Both of you together, what's up? Emily has something to tell you. Go on, Emily. Yeah. Prompted by Ryan, Emily hesitantly spoke. Dad has been on the phone in his room for a while. He's speaking in French, so I think it's someone from his trip. Emily had been interested in French since elementary school. She studied independently by reading French books and watching foreign dramas without subtitles. Recently, her French had improved significantly, and she was top of her class in French. Of course, Jack, who never cared about the family, wouldn't know anything about this. I see. Maybe he's on a work call? That's what I thought at first, but the conversation started to sound different. I got curious and eavesdropped. Then I realized. The other person is a woman. And Dad's having an affair with her. According to Emily, the conversation was like something out of a romantic drama she had seen. Not knowing that Emily was listening, or perhaps thinking she wouldn't understand since it was in French, Jack let his guard down and talked openly with his mistress at home. I was shocked by Emily's sudden revelation, and my hands stopped folding the laundry. Sure, Jack's usual attitude was unacceptable. But I had been grateful for his hard work overseas to support us, and I still had a sliver of affection for him. To find out he had betrayed our family, I was speechless. Emily looked regretful, as if she was second-guessing her decision to tell me. Ryan noticed her expression and stepped in. Emily talked to me first. I told her she had to tell Mom. I've also noticed Dad acting differently since he came back. Honestly, it's been annoying how he's never around and only badmouths you and us when he is. Ryan, being a teenager, also had some rebellious feelings toward his father. But right now, he seemed to be voicing my own feelings, which was comforting. But we don't have solid proof that he's cheating yet. If you're unsure, we need to find out before he goes back overseas. If we don't gather evidence now, he might cover it up later. Even if he's not cheating, Mom, you've been troubled by Dad since we were little. If you've been enduring it for our sake, it's not worth it anymore. That's right. As long as I have you, Mom, I don't care what happens. Ryan. Emily. Oh, I had such strong allies. The children I vowed to protect 10 years ago had grown up to be far more reliable than I imagined. I teared up at their encouragement. After Dad goes to take a bath, I'll grab his phone so we can check it out. Ryan suggested. Emily and I nodded in agreement. As we were discussing this, we heard Jack's footsteps heading from the second floor to the bathroom. Ryan seized the moment, grabbed Jack's phone from his room, and brought it to us. Since Jack had just been on a call, the phone wasn't locked. Urged by Emily, I opened the messages and found an icon of a woman with long blonde hair from behind. This must be her. I opened the message thread between Jack and the blonde woman. The conversation was in French, of course. Emily scrolled through the messages and began translating them. Then she took a deep breath and looked at me. Mom, bring your phone and record the messages. Why? To gather evidence. Taking photos of each message would take too long, so we'll record it on video. Smart thinking, Emily. I saw it done in a drama recently. I wanted to ask what kind of drama she was watching, but there was no time for that. We needed to gather as much evidence as possible before Jack finished his bath. I started recording with my phone's camera as Emily navigated through Jack's messages, photo folders, and call logs. Our evidence gathering didn't stop at that night. We continued the next day and the day after. Emily recorded phone conversations between Jack and his mistress and translated them for us, while Ryan took any opportunity to check Jack's phone. By the end, we had amassed a substantial amount of evidence. I think we have enough proof now, Ryan said, returning Jack's phone to its original place. Dad really was cheating. What a jerk. Mom, what are we going to do now? Both Emily and Ryan were filled with disdain for Jack. Given the situation, I knew we couldn't continue being a family with Jack. A surge of pent-up anger towards Jack overflowed within me. He was leaving for the airport tomorrow. I had to talk to him before then. Thank you, both of you. I'll talk to him first. Mom, are you going to be okay? I can't keep relying on you. Besides, I have a plan. While we were gathering evidence, an idea had come to me. To carry it out, I needed to confront Jack. That night, I went to Jack's room. Honey, I need to talk to you. Is now a good time? I knocked on the door, and Jack answered with a scowl. What is it? Make it quick, I want to go to bed. All right. I'll get straight to the point. You're having an affair, aren't you? What? That's ridiculous, what are you talking about? He was taken aback, clearly not expecting such an accusation. I found the proof on your phone. I have all the data, so you can't deny it. What? You went through my phone? That's an invasion of privacy. That's not the point right now. Admit it, you're having an affair. Ugh. Yeah, fine. There's a woman in the country where I work. She's young and beautiful, unlike you. Jack casually confessed to the affair. Without showing any remorse, he acted as if cheating was completely normal. You rely on me and don't work. So what if your leg is bad? If you can't work, you should respect me more. You didn't even come with me on my trip. You're not supportive enough, which is why I looked elsewhere. I didn't go because the kids were starting new schools. Enough, I don't care. Fine, I'll divorce you. I'll leave you and be with her instead. Jack nonchalantly demanded a divorce. Although divorce was a welcome idea, I couldn't agree so easily. Wait, I'm not agreeing to a divorce. What? We can't fix this. Even so, I can't agree to a divorce right now. Shut up. Just do as I say. Jack tried to grab me. At that moment, Ryan stepped in. Stop it, Dad. Ryan, you heard all this? Yeah, both Emily and I know about your affair. If you try to get violent, we'll call the police. Don't get cocky. Kids should listen to their parents. Jack glared at Ryan and shouted, but Ryan didn't back down. I don't care about myself, but Mom said she doesn't want a divorce right now. You messed up, so why do you think you can just demand a divorce? Well. Jack was momentarily thrown off by Ryan's argument. Taking advantage of the moment, I made my demand. Ryan's right. We can't divorce now. But, give me a year. During that time, we'll work out the details. Then we can divorce. Really? Fine, but a year from now, we divorce. Nothing else. Anyway, I'll be overseas for most of that year, so I won't have to see your faces. With that, Jack packed his bags and left the house. The next day, I checked the mailbox and found a green paper carelessly thrown inside. A note was attached, with a message from Jack. I've signed my part, so get ready. Jack had left the signed divorce papers for me. To prepare the divorce papers on the day of departure, he was serious about ending this. In that case, I wouldn't hold back anymore. I called Ryan and Emily into the living room and had them sit at the table. I felt truly sorry for dragging them into this mess. I sincerely apologized to both of them. Then, we discussed what would happen next. Of course, I would be the one to get custody. You might face some hardships, but I promise I'll do my best. Don't overdo it, Mom. We'll help out too, right, Emily? Absolutely. Despite everything, they had grown up healthy and straightforward. Ryan and Emily, thank you so much. We looked at each other, trying to hide our anxiety with smiles. Dreaming of a day when the three of us could laugh together. By the way, Mom, there was a reply to that message. Emily showed me her phone screen. Reading the message, I felt a renewed determination. Since then, I only communicated with Jack regarding the divorce. When I brought up child support and alimony, he resisted at first. But when I insisted that I wouldn't sign the divorce papers without it, he quickly agreed. Jack had a high-paying job and significant savings from before our marriage. He probably calculated that even after paying, he could still live a comfortable life. He was eager to pay whatever was necessary to finalize the divorce. As the promised year was nearing its end, Jack sent a message. I'm coming back to the States for New Year's. Get the divorce papers ready. It seemed he was returning to the States. The time had finally come. I had spent the past year preparing something, sacrificing my sleep every night. All right, Jack, come back whenever you're ready. As planned, Jack returned to the States and came to the house. Hey, I'm here. Now hurry up and get those divorce papers. Jack demanded the divorce papers from me. Beside him was a young blonde woman holding a child. When I glanced at them, Jack smirked and snorted. Let me introduce you. This is Elena. She'll be my wife after I divorce you. And who is this child? This is our child, Leon. Jack had a hidden child with his mistress, Elena. But I wasn't surprised. A year ago, when I saw the photo folder on Jack's phone, there were pictures of Elena holding a newborn. The child, Leon, had distinctly foreign features, clearly Elena's child. I had suspected Jack was the father, and my suspicion was correct. I'm divorcing you to be with Elena. Jack smiled at Elena as he spoke. Elena, who didn't understand English, looked at Jack and smiled happily. I'm taking these to the courthouse myself, so hand over the divorce papers. Once that's done, we're strangers. Take the kids and get out of this house. Jack said triumphantly. But I was unfazed and showed him the completed divorce papers to keep him from escaping. The divorce papers are filled out. But before that, Elena? Thank you for coming. I'm going to demand alimony from you as well. What? You never mentioned that. Jack hastily interrupted my words. Yes, over the past year, I hadn't mentioned anything about his mistress. I knew that if I didn't, a complacent Jack would likely bring her along to show off. And I intended to demand the alimony directly from her. Alimony can be claimed within 3 years from when you find out about the affair. Now that you've shown up in person, I won't let this slide. So, translate for her with your excellent French. I can't tell her that. Sigh, fine. Emily, please. Sure thing. When I called her, Emily and Ryan entered the living room. I hadn't wanted to involve them this much, but Emily was eager to help, so I let her. Using the French she had studied for this day, Emily conveyed my words to Elena. Jack was stunned by the sudden turn of events. There's no way. Emily can speak French this well? I don't like to think about it, but Emily is your child too. She seems to have inherited your knack for languages. How can you use our child like that? Aren't you ashamed as a parent? The only one who should be ashamed here is you. If Elena doesn't pay the alimony, I'll tear up the divorce papers right now. Is that what you want? Emily, translate. Emily gave me an okay sign and diligently translated. Jack tried to stop Emily, but Ryan held him back, preventing him from interfering. Elena's face turned progressively paler. She started berating Jack in French, her voice rising. I didn't understand the words, but it was clear she was furious with Jack. Overwhelmed by Elena, Jack finally conceded. Fine. I'll pay Elena's alimony too. Just don't back out of the divorce. Thank you. Now that we've got the evidence recorded, I'll file the divorce papers myself. Rest assured, I'll make sure it's done. Transfer the full amount of money promptly. Understood? Jack glared at me with a bitter expression. But after a moment, he reverted to his usual mocking tone. Well, unlike you, I'm not strapped for cash. If it means I can start a new happy life with Elena and Leon, it's a small price to pay. It's a pity for Ryan and Emily to live with a mother who can't work. Maybe they'll suffer for defying me. Jack declared triumphantly. At this point, it seemed like he was just making excuses, but he clearly still wanted to belittle us. Ryan laughed derisively at Jack's words, hoping to see me upset. Mom, didn't you tell Dad yet? Ryan asked me. Show him, Mom. He urged me to show Jack my phone. I opened the message screen on my phone and showed it to Jack. What is this? He asked, annoyed, looking at the screen. But his expression quickly changed to one of panic. No way. Jack snatched my phone, scrolling through the message screen with trembling hands. What Jack saw were messages between me and his company's CEO, Mr. Johnson. The messages detailed Jack's demotion and transfer to a different position. No way. Jack uttered in a strangled voice before frantically grabbing at me. Why are you in contact with my boss, Mr. Johnson? You left the company. And why am I being demoted and transferred? Do I have to come back to the States? What is going on? Stop it. Ryan pushed Jack's arm away. Ryan had grown taller and stronger than Jack, and I felt a strange sense of pride even in this chaotic moment. Let me explain why I was in contact with Mr. Johnson. Actually, I started doing some design work when you stopped caring about the family. I had graduated from a design school, so I started working from home, focusing on fashion design. The designs I created for clients in the apparel industry were well received. Working from home allowed me to manage my leg condition, and it suited me well. A year ago, just after our divorce talks began, an opportunity came up that boosted my career. Mom, is this it? Emily chuckled and opened a popular social media app on her phone, showing it to Jack. The profile page was open, and Jack was startled by what he saw. 870,000 followers. Yes, Emily was a famous influencer for her illustration posts. Emily had loved drawing and learning French since she was little. She shared her art with both American and international audiences, often explaining her illustrations in French. Elena, seeing the screen, was also shocked and blurted out something. Emily translated her words with a cheerful smile. Oh, are you one of my followers, Elena? Thank you. Emily, show him the important screen. Oops, I almost forgot, Emily said as she switched screens and showed it to Jack. Is this messages with Mr. Johnson? Yes. Emily posted some rough sketches of my clothing designs on her social media. They got a lot of attention, and I love Mom's designs, so I posted them saying I wanted clothes like those. A lot of people messaged me, including your boss, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, not knowing the artist was the daughter of one of his employees, had asked Emily to introduce him to the designer. Emily didn't realize it was Mr. Johnson and consulted me. I replied to Mr. Johnson through Emily's social media account. Then I met with Mr. Johnson. He was surprised to find out I was a former employee and that you were my husband. When I explained why Emily posted the designs, he said he loved them and wanted to collaborate on a new product. What? You made a deal with my company? Yes. Ryan acted as my manager, and we finalized the deal recently. The new product line will be launched next year. I didn't know about any of this. Jack muttered in a defeated tone. Ignoring his despair, I continued. When I first met Mr. Johnson, I told him it was an honor, but I was hesitant to work with a company where my soon-to-be ex-husband worked. When I explained the reason for the divorce, he was furious. He said working with me was more important than your position at the company and that he would ensure you had no involvement in the project. What? Moreover, he found out about your affair during your overseas trip. Your reputation there is terrible. Despite your long tenure. Mr. Johnson couldn't tolerate it anymore. So, while finalizing my contract, he informed me of your demotion and transfer. Jack turned pale, realizing his life was falling apart. He looked like he might collapse at any moment. You were trying to kick us out of this house earlier, weren't you? Did you forget this house belongs to my uncle? If you try to live here after kicking us out, he'll charge you the rent that has been free until now. What will you do? Damn it. Jack shouted loudly. Unable to process the situation, he left the house with his mistress. Several years after the divorce drama with Jack, I continued living in the same house with my children. The products I collaborated on with Jack's company were hugely popular and sold out quickly. Mr. Johnson was very grateful and continued working with me on several successful projects. As a result, I started my own design company. Since I wasn't very skilled at anything other than design, Ryan, now a university student, helped manage the company. His experience as my manager sparked his interest in business administration, leading him to study it at university. While attending a university with a business program, he also supported my work, proving to be a reliable son. Mom, here's the next project. Got it. Thanks as always, Ryan. Feeling proud, Ryan headed off to his soon-to-be graduated university. Shortly after Ryan left, my phone rang. The caller was my ex-husband, Jack. I reluctantly answered the call. Hello, it's been a while. What do you want? It's not just, what do you want? What have you been letting Emily draw? Jack's voice, which I hadn't heard in a long time, was a mix of anger and despair. Because of you and Emily, I'm a laughingstock everywhere I go. What are you going to do about it? No wonder Jack was furious. Actually, Emily had turned our divorce drama into a comic essay. The realistic and messy story drawn by the popular illustrator became a hit, and many people read Emily's work. Somehow, it got out that Jack was the man in the story, and he became a subject of public scorn. Elena, who had come to the States to live with Jack, grew tired of being ridiculed and abandoned Leon, leaving him with Jack before returning to her home country. She has been unreachable and remains missing to this day. Elena left, and I've been raising Leon alone. But recently, Leon got sick. He's fine now, but when I saw the blood test results, Leon is blood type AB. Given that Jack is type O, he must have realized he had been deceived by Elena all along. I felt sorry for Leon, but Jack's situation seemed like karmic retribution. Elena and I are practically over. So please, take me back and help raise Leon. Ryan and Emily are adults now, so it won't be as difficult. Please. Jack's plea was pitiful. Thinking this man was once my husband sent shivers down my spine. After taking a deep breath, I yelled at him. You're pathetic. You chose this path, so take responsibility and walk it yourself. Besides, I have a wedding coming up next year. What? Wedding? Yes, so don't interfere with my happiness. Goodbye. No way, it can't be true. Jack was shocked and dejected by my words. Ignoring him, I hung up the call. After that, Jack never contacted me again. The following year, I attended Ryan's wedding at a beautiful local venue. Hey, big brother, you look great in that tux. Right, Mom? Yes, you look very handsome, Ryan. Stop it, it's embarrassing. Ryan smiled sheepishly. Ryan married a woman he met at university shortly after graduating. He worked tirelessly to grow my company with his exceptional business strategies, and his wife supported him in this endeavor. I remembered the phone call from Jack and shared the story with Ryan and Emily. I had deliberately phrased it as if I was the one getting married to deceive Jack. The two of them burst into laughter. Mom, you've become so strong. Emily praised me. After a while, the groom Ryan was called by the venue staff. They said there would be a meeting before the family photo session. As I watched Ryan leave, Emily peeked at my face with a mischievous grin. But seriously. Mom, what's going on with David? David was Emily's editor, who had helped her debut as a manga artist after the success of her comic essay. He often came to our house for meetings, and over time, he had started inviting me to meals. Well, oh, look. It's time for us to go too. Ah. You dodged the question. Feeling my face heat up, I stood up from my chair as Emily teased me. More happiness might be coming my way. Believing that, I took one step forward at a time.